Hi, I'm Riki. I live in Melbourne. I was born with a vision impairment. I did have a traumatic birth, and that involved me having a couple of convulsions within the first 12 hours of birth. I didn't have enough oxygen, and then I ended up with too much, being in a humidic crib for 10 days. I did have a cerebral brain hemorrhage as well. I do suffer from anxiety, stress, and adjustment disorder as well, which affects my ability to cope with change and adjusting to life situations at times. I was born in Melbourne in the Essendon District Hospital, and when I was nearly 7, moved up to Shepparton. I have a younger sister, Becky, and she has a partner and 2 lovely kids, a boy and a girl. So I've got a nephew and a niece, which is really, really lovely. They live in Elwood, where Mum and Dad live. Mum and Dad moved to Elwood to be closer to the kids and to help look after them while my sister's at work and all of that type of stuff. When we were up in Shepparton, I went to mainstream schooling to St George's Road, and then I went to Notre Dame College. I did a modified VCE where I did 4 VCE subjects rather than doing the whole 5, and I had extra periods to do my homework and study for my exams and everything. When I was 18, we also found out that I had a genetic condition called Turner syndrome, which 1 in every 2,500 female births have. It is to do with fertility, so I have fertility issues and can't have any children. To be honest, if I was to have kids, I'm not too sure how well I would actually cope with actually having children anyway, but it has caused not just fertility issues for me, but I'm only 4'10", I've got puffy hands and feet, a webbed neck, high blood pressure, and low underactive thyroid. So every woman who does have Turner syndrome does have different symptoms or different outcomes. Some people are a full Turner, some people are mosaic, which is partial like me. I have done a lot of study after school. I moved back to Melbourne when I was 23, and I've studied Cert 2 in business and telecommunications call centres, community. I have a diploma of community development, which is really good. I have got lots of volunteer work behind me. I have volunteered with Grit Media on Channel 31 for many, many years. They had a program called No Limits, which was, we were a group of people with disabilities who learnt to film. We did producing, presenting, crew work. So that was a very good experience. I've got a lot of experience in public speaking with Speakers Bank, with Warner Institute. I visited people in an aged care home. I've volunteered at Yarrallah. In terms of paid work, that's been very intermittent. I have had 16 weeks paid work back in 2004 at the RVIB, which is now Vision Australia. That was when the then Steve Brack's government had a campaign for paying people's wages to train up their work skills. What we did in the Community Jobs program was we put together an RVIB open day. So we put together booklets and other stalls and materials for the open day. We had to market the open day and do publicity on radio and media. So that was a good experience for me as well. I also in 2013 did about 3.5 months perhaps at Busy Beans. Busy Beans was run by a DES provider, Aim Big, and it was a barista program where they paid us full award wage to learn to develop our barista coffee making skills, essentially. That was my most recent. Yes, that was late 2019, early 2020. We have to edit that out because although the information's correct, mostly that was not in 2013. So we've got to change the order and we need to put Vicroads first. So, after the RVIB, in 2013, I did 3 months at Vicroads, where I was working in the licensing and registration department. And at the end of the 2013 financial year, that contract finished. So then in 2019, 2020, for 3.5 months was when I was working at Busy Beans, developing my barista skills and getting full award wage for that. That again was for people with disabilities as well. That was through Aim Big at full award wage. And essentially, all of my paid work has been for a few months and been contract work. Going back a few years, one of my biggest accomplishments was moving out of home. I moved out of home August 2016, and that was when I moved into Oak Park, and that has been one of the best experiences that I have ever had. It was a independent decision to move out of home with the support of Mum and Dad and my family, of course. Mum and Dad were absolutely adamant that they wanted to see me independent while they were still here. And I've actually really surprised myself at how independent I am. I have NDIS supports to help me with my cleaning, with shopping, some cooking. Sometimes we just keep each other company and have just mental health time. But to have that support from the NDIS has been very great. I, of course, have support from Mum and Dad and my family as well. Although in this situation of COVID, I've been seeing them a lot less frequently, which really sucks. I'd like to one day get a pet. I'm not too sure whether I want a dog or a cat yet. But I really am proud of myself living on my own. I do catch taxis. Sometimes I use public transport. Other times I use support workers. And I find that when it comes to capacity building, it's not necessarily capacity building for you to do things independently on your own, eventually without support. I understand that now capacity building is being able to do things and to have capacity building in your life to be able to participate in activities and have a regular life like anybody else. Even if the capacity building supports are supports that you need ongoing for the rest of your life, which I do. As you can see behind me, I have a Fireball salt lamp. I'm very into natural therapies. I have studied Bowen therapy in the past, introduction to massage, and I'm also a Reiki channel as well. One day it might be nice for me to set up my own holistic business, potentially, if I have the right supports to be able to do that. I'm currently doing training at Jigsaw. Jigsaw have had to ask for funding from the NDIS as well. Jigsaw is in Abbotsford, And it's not like any other disability employment service or disability service in general that I have ever encountered. The view of Jigsaw is to get people into open paid employment, yes, but their strategy is different. Their strategy is to train people up as an unpaid trainee initially. There is no time frame on how long that takes. That might take a few months, it might take a year, it might take a couple of years. As an unpaid trainee, you do your work experience in the hub, which currently cannot be done because of COVID, but you also have theory, and we are able to have Zoom theory online in Zoom video conferences. And in these, you have one-on-one and group trainings, and they mark off 20 competencies. So those 20 competencies take as long as they take. As I said, there's no time frame on how long you're an unpaid trainee. Now, some of these competencies might be punctuality and time management. They might be teamwork. They might be problem solving and initiative, leadership, delegation, stress management, all sorts of different competencies. Once they feel that you've reached that level of all of those competencies and you're ready to be a paid trainee, they will take you in for an interview and they will assess you as to how well you're doing and whether they consider there to be any gaps and how those gaps can be filled and what they do or don't want you to work on. And then you become a paid trainee. They also help you seek paid employment in the open employment market. Both the paid trainee and the open employment market jobs that they get you or that you do will be at full award wage. And I believe that this is one of the best opportunities, aside from moving out of home, that has happened to me in a long, long time. And I'm looking forward to continuing on making my decisions, whether it be the decision making I've done in education and courses, the volunteer and paid work that I've put myself forward for, moving out of home, Jigsaw, and let's just see what comes next in the Riki story. And I'm looking forward to talking to you all and sharing my continuation with you of my journey.